So now our objective is to ensure that we are able to work with other virtualizations also. And for that, ReadyAPI supports few of them. JMS is there, database is there. All these are there, which are actually supported by ReadyAPI. Since we have already installed MySQL in your system, we'll see how to go about from there. That's what is our objective. So you don't do as of now, because I'll be sharing the content that you have to do that is specific to your requirement. Now, if you see, in order to connect to database, your ReadyAPI uses JDBC, and JDBC is specific protocol provided by Java in order to connect to database. So it indicates that we need to use connectors which are Java compliant connectors in order to work with JDBC. Similarly, JMS. Now, JMS is Java Messaging Services. So you can clearly see that your Smart Beer and ReadyAPI says that, see, I'll be able to provide you connectivity to your MOMs, message-oriented middlewares, using JMS protocol. And JMS protocol is something which is again Java specific. It is not used by others. So we need to just see what arrangement we have to do so that we are able to work with it. So what I'll do is, first I will create a JDBC service, API service. So I'll just right click and click on new virtual service. From here, I'll go to empty JDBC, click on OK. As soon as I do that, it will ask me, okay, what you are creating. So I'll say, I'm creating MySQL virtual server. I'll click on OK. The minute I click on OK, it provides me the URL, the JDBC URL you see. Now this is virtual URL. It's not the real URL. Rest of the details you can see here: location, localhost, time, this, status, not running, received, sent, and this is what is virtual service. So till here, it's pretty simple. It means that whoever is testing and needs JDBC connection, instead of using the real connection, they will be using this virtual connection which is created. Now, one thing we need to understand, that entire simulation of database means lots of simulations that need to be done, because database is not built using a common specification. Why we are able to specify request and response stuff for others? Because REST or SOAP, they are based on specific specification which your system can learn quickly, but not database. Every database is different. Yes, interpretation of queries are similar, but the way they organize data, the way database is managed is different. So in what way we can use virtualization on database? So for that, you need to understand that your JDBC virtual service that you have created will work as a proxy to the database and data or transactions that need to be stored. So you need to always go and provide it a route to JDBC so that your JDBC requests can be intercepted and can be executed through virtual service. So we'll go to route option. As of now, route to non-virtualized request, and here you have route and record non-virtualized request. So you have two options here which should be of your interest, because why do we record? We want to record so that it records that particular transaction, and next time onwards it will not make call to actual database, rather it will return the stored response. So this is what is something which we need to keep in mind, that we have an option of route non-virtualized request. If you are selecting this, it means every request will be delegated to your non-virtualized request, which will point to a particular actual server. But what we want to record a transaction, and from there onwards, whenever call is made to that API, it will return that recorded outcome. So I'll select this. Now here you have to see route and record non-virtualized request. Now here what you have to do is you have to specify the concrete MySQL. Concrete MySQL, when I say, it means I'll go to my MySQL workbench where I have already got some database. When I will launch, I'll get here my instance which is running. I know user ID and password of this. Now, if you see here, I have schemas and I have accounts and I have sys. So this is something which I would like to use that. Now, by default, your MySQL server runs at 3306 port. So I'll go and I'll specify the endpoint of it. So I'll say JDBC. It's the same sequence. : MySQL, service name is MySQL, database is MySQL colon, local host, I should not forget password, and port is 3306. I think this is what is the port, default port. Username, root, password, I don't remember, I'll just try here. And database is accounts. So that's what we have seen here, database is accounts. So what I'm doing here, I'm saying that, see, this particular service will delegate to a particular root. Fine. So we are specifying the credentials ReadyAPI will use to log into this particular database. You can have Oracle, you can have whatever you want. Fine. So this is what you have done. Now, if you see here, this is virtual service. Script and all I'm not writing for now. You can write script also to connect, but that's fine. We have written here username as root, password as this. So this is what is the minimum possible configuration that you have to do. You have to ensure that you are using your endpoint connection string and you are using your username and password. This is what we need to keep in mind.